Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got plays that were banned by the NFL. Let's check this out.
The NFL back in the day would seem insane now. From trick plays with 7-footers to vicious hits, these are the craziest
Called a
banned
fake
plays
big slide.
in NFL history. This play used to be commonplace in the
Horse
NFL
collar.
until December
God
20th,
damn.
2004, when the Roy Williams rule was put into effect, banning horse collar tackles. He injured 4 players with this type of tackle in 2004 alone. But it was this specific hit by Williams that not only caused a stir on the field, but left Terrell Owens in terrible shape. It sidelined T.O. for the final 2 games of the regular season and the first 2 of the playoffs because Owens broke his leg and tore ligaments in his ankle during the play. And while Williams may have been the most infamous player to use this technique, it was being utilized long before him, like in 1987, during plays like this with Joey Browner yanking height to the ground. The horse collar tackle has now been defined as grabbing the inside collar of the back or side of the shoulder pads or jersey, or grabbing the jersey at the nameplate or above and pulling the runner toward the ground. In 2005, it became officially banned. The next play was inspired by the great Muhammad Ali. It went into the NFL rulebook. And who better to explain the Deacon Jones head slap than the man himself?
Oh, head slap.
Like a dance step. 1, 2, 3, boom. You see? And you do all that in one motion, and there will be no more locks.
Jones would punch or slap offensive linemen in the head to disorient them so he could easily blow by them for a sack. That may seem crazy today, but during the 60s and early 70s, this was completely legal. When Jones retired in 1974, this move was reevaluated, and just 3 years later, in 1977, it became illegal. I mean, just imagine getting smacked in the head every single play by a 6'5", 272-pound monster. He left players like right tackle Kaz Banachek with ice bags on his head and left permanent damage on Joe DeLamielleure and Gene Hickerson. But in the words of Jones himself, it was the greatest thing I ever did. And when I left, they outlawed it. Now, this next play, you've seen done by tons of players. Jumping the line. The name
I don't know why they banned that.
What was the real reason it got banned? Well, if you watch the Steelers in the 2000s and 2010s, you know, no one did it like Troy Polamalu. He would time the snap count to perfectly leap over the O-line and stop the opposing team in their backfield. I don't
know how the hell he
started to get used more commonly to block field
time that shit so
in 2017, it was banned because it was said to be dangerous for everyone involved. But what's even more dangerous is when coaches are able to find loopholes in league rules. And Bill Belichick took pride in outsmarting the system time
against the Jets
again. On October 21st, 2019, the Patriots
against the Jets. I remember this.
And Belichick wanted to expedite the victory.
He kept taking flags and shit.
New England was up 33-0 with over 10.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Delay game,
According to the NFL rulebook, if a team has back-to-back delay of game penalties on the same down, it's considered unsportsmanlike conduct, leading to not only the clock stopping, but also a 15-yard penalty. But this isn't what Bill Belichick did. New England did start with a delay of game penalty, but followed it up with an intentional false start penalty, rather than another delay of game, leading to a full 90 seconds of time shaved off the clock, and the clock continued to run. But on May 28, 2020, this was put to a stop when the league updated the rulebook to say teams manipulate the game clock by committing multiple dead ball fouls while
that's lame as hell, gang. That's smart.
Belichick trickery. And while Belichick would beat you with his mind, some plays just relied on brute force. So much so that NFL players themselves couldn't even believe they were legal.
That was back when there was still a wedge unit on kickoff return.
I was a part of that.
You believe that used to be a thing?
I wish it would never happen.
Bro.
The rulebook defines this wedge block as 2 or more players shoulder to shoulder within 2 yards of each other attempting to block the runner. And in 2009, the wedge block was officially banned in the NFL.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Because it caused tons of injuries, namely concussions. And just a year before the wedge block was banned, 30 out of 32 NFL teams had used it at some point during the season. Change was needed, as multiple players had been permanently injured from the wedge. Which brings us to our most recent ban
hip
play,
drop tackle.
The hip drop tackle.
Now this one is a little tricky to me because I understand they're trying to make it more safe to tackle and shit and you know what I'm saying, and prevent injuries. But bro, how the hell do you expect people to play defense, bro? Like, how do you expect them to make tackles now? Like, bro, come on now. You want them to fucking shoot them in the head or some shit? Like, come on. Like, bro. This, like, NFL is gonna slowly start turning into flag football, because now you can't even fucking tackle for real. Because say if you're chasing down somebody, how are you supposed to tackle them? Like, Come on now.
videos and show you what a hip drop tackle was, or if you asked me to demonstrate a hip
I
drop
can tell
tackle,
this shit is gonna
I
be
wouldn't be able
fucked
to
this
do it.
year.
The banning of this play is often criticized, but the rule is designed to protect star players, no matter how hard it makes it on the defense. And it was a hip drop tackle
It's just getting
by Logan
impossible to
Wilson on
play
this play
defense.
that put Mark Andrews out for 8 weeks in 2023.
And I was pissed about this
In
because
2020, this play
Logan Wilson knew
put Mark
exactly what the
Andrews out
fuck he was doing. That's why,
in
bro.
2023. And in 2024,
I despise
this play
his bitch
became
ass nigga. He
officially
got
banned,
Vontaze Burfict
defined
number
by the
on
league
too.
as grabbing the runner with both hands, swiveling his hips to land on and trap the legs, which is exactly what happened to Mark Andrews. This illegal tackle will now result in a 15-yard penalty and a first down. So, thoughts and prayers to every corner trying to tackle Derrick Henry in the future. And although it seems like the league
This is gonna pay dividends for us, though. I tell you now, bro. Lamar and Derrick Henry.
thoughts
Oh
and
yeah.
prayers to every corner
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to tackle Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah.
And although it seems like the league is making it as hard as they can on defensive players, this next play is one they took away from the
God
offense.
damn, yeah,
It's pretty
crackback
easy to
blocks.
understand why the play was banned after you watch it. These defenseless offense hits became known as crackback blocks, and they were happening all the time. So in 2012, the NFL amended the rulebook, making these blocks illegal. But you still see them from time to time in the current NFL. One of the most well-known blocks of this nature was thrown by Juju Smith-Schuster on Vontaze
W,
in
bro.
2017.
Like,
While
bro, this is the best shit that's ever happened right here, bro.
this nature was thrown by
This made me
Juju
like
Smith-Schuster
Juju.
on Vontez Burfict in
Vontez
2017.
Burfict's bitch
And while
ass
the
deserved
Steelers
it.
nation and fans around the league may have rejoiced, Juju was still suspended 1 game.
It was worth it though, shit. Vontez Burfict be doing
But what happens when basketball
fucking-
players play in the NFL?
What's the word?
Normally they turn into great tight ends, but sometimes they
doing,
become
like,
the most
illegal shit like
interesting
that all the
special
time.
teams player ever. Like in 1969, when 6'10" Morris Stroud became
6'10"?
the NFL version of Dikembe Mutombo. Kansas City Chiefs head coach Hank
Yo,
Stram
imagine
had
that
Stroud
in this
sit under the
NFL?
goalposts and jump to block or deflect field goals like an NBA center at the rim. This crazy game plan would be outlawed and forever known as the Stroud rule, making his goaltending attempts illegal, leading Stroud to fall back on his secondary position, tight end. But players have still attempted to do this, like 5'10" Randall Cobb trying to block David Akers' 63-yard field goal attempt back in 2012. But blocking a field goal is one thing. Turning a normally negative play, like a fumble, into a positive is completely different. The Fumble-Rooski was first seen on September 10th, 1978, when the Raiders played the Chargers. With the Raiders down 20-14 and just 10 seconds left in the game, Ken Stabler fumbled the ball forward. Teammate Pete Banaszak fumbled it further. Then Dave Casper picked up the ball, leading to a touchdown and a Raiders victory, in a play that became known as the Holy Roller. Because of this, the NFL dropped a new rule the very next season, stating if a fumble occurs on a 4th down or after the 2-minute warning, only the player who fumbled the ball can advance the ball.
This is where
the
that
end
came
of the
from.
intentional Fumble-Rooski in the NFL, with variations of this play being used decades later, like in 2020, when Washington put their own spin on the play. And some of the league's most shocking plays aren't actually banned, but you'd think they were by how often they lead to penalties or by how much controversy they cause. This next rule has been one of the most commonly missed calls by officials and remains a topic of debate amongst analysts: punching a loose ball. But it's not just the batting of the ball, it's how it's done. According to the league rulebook, a player may not bat or punch a loose ball in the field of play toward the opponent's goal line, which was done during this Troy Polamalu play.
Oh, okay.
Additionally, you can't
I was about
bat
to
the
say,
ball in
I thought it was talking about like peanut punching and shit. I was about to say, huh?
which was done during this Troy Polamalu play.
I was
Additionally,
confused.
you can't bat the ball in any direction while in the end zone, which is exactly what was done during this play
KJ
by
Wright.
KJ Wright in 2015. And this play sealed the game with the Seahawks ultimately winning 13-10. This rule was already in place before these incidents, but it has left many officials lost and confused, as the call has been commonly missed in recent years. Some controversial plays have originated from hilarious actions on the field. Just watch this.
Nobody has even come close.
Oh yeah, Sam Cook.
The end zone as time expires.
Smart.
Now, you may be wondering why nobody rushed the punter on this play. As we look back, every single lineman is intentionally holding to run down the clock. In an effort to drain the time, Baltimore held their opposing players to close out the final 11 seconds of their victory over Cincinnati. This ridiculous holding play was 100% legal. Now, games cannot end on defensive penalties, but they can end on offensive penalties.
Yep.
This is where there's a gray area, because according to the league, this could have been considered a palpably unfair act, but only if it had happened twice in a row, not once, as it did on this play. With the palpably unfair act, the clock would have reset to the same time as before the play started. So technically, this is still legal if you only do it once.
Yes,
and
sir.
the Ravens have been notorious for this. Most famously, doing it
The
in
Super
Super Bowl
Bowl.
47, shaving off 8 seconds to keep the 49ers offense off the field for a final play. But sometimes the NFL rulebook just hasn't caught up to how creative and skilled the players are. Ever since Michael Vick
Vick.
pulled off this move against the Panthers in 2004, arguments have occurred because he was called down for this fake slide to spin, while others were not. Like when Kenny Pickett
Kenny
pulled it off
Pick-
in the 2021
yeah,
ACC
and then they
championship game.
changed that
This
rule
fake
in
slide
college.
completely froze the defense, and opposing head coach Dave Clawson explained it best.
Never ever seen that before. You just train your players. As soon as a quarterback starts sliding, you stop because you touch him and it's going to be a penalty.
Pickett found the loophole to this rule, not only leading Pitt to the ACC title, but forever altering the football rulebook. Less than a week after, the NCAA declared any time
wasted
a
no
ball carrier
time.
begins, simulates, or fakes a feet-first slide, the ball should be declared dead, a precaution for player safety. However, the play is not banned in the NFL, causing a huge uproar when Josh Allen did this move in 2024. Our final play is often penalized, but it's mind-blowing that it isn't
God
officially
damn.
banned. The final play is often penalized.
Yo,
It's mind-blowing
clothesline
that it
his
isn't
ass.
officially banned.
JBL
the
style.
Clothesline tackle was known early in the NFL as the Night Train necktie because of the player that brought it to fame, Dick Night Train Lane. Night Train said of
Yes,
his patented
sir.
tackle that, "My object is to stop the guy before he gains another inch. If I hit him in the legs, they may fall forward for a first down. I grab him by the neck so I can go back to the bench and sit down."
That's
And while
bro, that is
first
a
down, I grab him
crazy
by the neck
ass
so I can
statement.
go back
I grabbed them around the neck so I could go back to the bench and sit down.
And while Lane's version
Yo.
of the clothesline tackle is definitely illegal, the tackle in and of itself isn't. The rulebook states that players are
God
prohibited
damn.
from striking, swinging at, or clubbing the head, neck, or face.
That
of
is
opponent
actually
with wrist,
insane.
arms, elbows, or hands, or striking an opponent below the shoulders with his forearm or elbows by turning his body in any way that is clearly unnecessary. Which is why there was no penalty for this
Ooh.
hit on Demario Douglas in 2023. As long as you aren't going out of your way to swing your outstretched arm, a clothesline tackle is still legal. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, then we've got another one you might like.
That nigga lost
right
a lot of
here.
teeth. Hey man, what do you guys think? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on post notifications, get notified whenever I drop another banger video. We're on the road to 300 subs, and we get there for more banger NFL content like this. So without further ado, I'm out. Gang!